Hello, my name is Benjamin Needham with Needham Ag Technologies, and today this is a video showing you how to rebuild openers on a John Deere 50 series drill or air seeder. So the first thing that we have found is that if you are going to do an extensive rebuild, especially if you're replacing the MOA pins and bushings, it's worth your time to take the openers off of the drill or air seeder. The way that you'll do that is you take the 4 bolts out and remove the openers off of the rock shaft and safely let them down on the ground. Then you'll pull them out of the way of the tires using a forklift and carefully back the drill or air seeder up, again making sure the openers are not in the way of the tires. So in this video we're going to show you several different tips and things to look for whenever you're rebuilding a 50 series opener. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the gauge wheel off and then the disc off. Here we are turning the disc hub by hand to see if it turns freely. If it doesn't, chances are your hub could look like this inside and will need repair. Here we are taking the castle nut off. Now we're going to take the gauge wheel arm off. Now we're going to take the hub off. And we're going to take the other bearing off, which may require a pry bar. Here we are rebuilding the hub. You'll need to hammer the old cup out using a large punch and a hammer. 1 to 2 good taps with the hammer should get it out. Here we are, we're going to look at the wear ring. If your wear rings are scarred up like this, they will need to be replaced. But if you're replacing your bearings, we recommend replacing the wear rings too. Needham Ag sells a 50 series hub repair kit which has chrome plated wear rings and also includes NTN L44643 bearings with the cups, which are US made bearings. Here we are looking at the old wear ring again. We're going to clean up the hub, make sure all the dirt and grease is out of there. Now we're going to install the new cup. Now we're going to install our new chrome plated wear rings using a press. We're going to use a piece of flat metal that's larger than the wear ring, and we're going to try to press it in square. Here we are, we're going to tap the old seals off. Needham Ag also sells the seals, and if you buy our 50 series hub repair kits, it comes with 2 of the new seals. Next, we're going to hammer out the quadrant. If your quadrant can hammer out easily, do so. If it doesn't, and it has a detent in the end, you can use a center punch and drive it out like this. But not all of them have a detent in the end. If it didn't come out freely, chances are it's dry and rusty like what you see here, and it probably didn't adjust very freely either. Carefully, we're going to use a sharp knife and we're going to cut the old O-ring off. Now we're going to pull the old O-ring off with a pair of pliers. We're going to put the new O-ring back on. Next, we're going to clean up the gauge wheel arm, getting all the grease and dirt and rust off of it. Always wear goggles while using the grinder. Next, we're going to press the new seal back on, again using a piece of flat metal. We're going to press it on square using a press. Now we're going to clean up where the seal installs onto the arm. We're going to install the new seal, again with the flat piece of metal. We're going to hammer it on square with a hammer. We're going to grease the quadrant, and we're going to put the quadrant back in. We're going to grease the shaft again. We're going to install the new L44643 bearings. Going to install the hub. The other L44643 bearing. We found that if you're doing this extensive of a rebuild, it's good to put the disc on now. And we're going to put the gauge wheel arm back on. Make sure the center of the gauge wheel arm, or the hole in the gauge wheel arm, aligns with the center of the quadrant. You will need 1 or 2 washers under the castle nut depending on the size of the castle nut. John Deere recommends torquing the nut to around 36 foot-pounds, backing it off and retorquing it to 22 foot-pounds. But we have found the disc is often loose after 50 to 100 hours. So we have found to torque the nut to around 50 foot-pounds, then back it off and retorque to around 40, depending on where the split pin fits through the castle nut. Now we're going to put the split pin in. Now we're going to put the disc bolts in. Needham Ag sells grade 8 disc carriage bolts and nuts. The 3/8 grade 8 nuts and bolts that we sell should be torqued to around 40 foot-pounds, but that's for the grade 8 ones. If yours are not grade 8, then that would be less. We're going to torque them with an impact first, and then we're going to check them with the torque wrench. We sell Lucas extra heavy-duty grease, and we found that this is the best grease for the job. If you have put new bearings and seals in your hub, you will need to grease the hub until the grease either squirts out the top or the bottom. Here we are putting the openers back on the drill. We found that the easiest way to do it is to start with the back row first so that the front row isn't in the way of the bolts and nuts. Then we're going to do the front row starting in the center and working out. It does help to have a hard hat, as there are many sharp things that you could bang your head on. I hope you found this video about the 50 series openers useful and interesting. Also on YouTube, I have another video of me with this same 20-foot 750 showing things you need to look for in the drives, frame, and rock shafts. We also have many other videos on YouTube. Feel free to watch them and like them. For more information about our products, please visit our website, needhamag.com. Thanks for watching.